Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League 4 Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft, here with your hosts Blackjack and Babagusta, and of course our match admin Eisen, as we are here for Division 2. Starting its final run here in Season 4 of the Pro League. That is right, Div 2 is about to end proceedings today. And of course, we had that little surprise announcement of the mid-season balancing patch going live at 7:30. So quickly before the matches begin, I should let you all know that the match in the middle, the second match that was Samurai Esports game, is being pushed offline to avoid complications, and we will come back with the second stream for the final match of the night. Links will be given out on social media and all the regular platforms that you are used to. But right now, we're going to be joining our players between Jittervuya versus Red Vipers on the map of Oregon, going live on your screens in just a quick second on the ban phase of the map. And it is going to start things off. Well, these teams are going to start things off with the Maverick ban. Not really too surprising, all things considered, given that it is Oregon, of course. And that's going to make for a very interesting second ban. Well, not quite. Jittervuya will go back to the old faithful, just like the map. It is Thatcher to be banned from the start of the attack. Again, interesting decision, but Jittervuya just doesn't want to deal with Thatcher when they go onto the defense post round 7 roll swap. Red Vipers, on the other hand, Jittervuya, on the other hand, will be banning Mira on the defense. Excuse me for the little stutter right there. But Mira, Oregon, I think there's no real need to explain why that ban is as common and as good as it is. And Red Vipers, of course, have the final ban of the map today. They will be deciding to take care of Kaid. There you go. That's the ban that usually follows the Thatcher Maverick ban set. But for whatever reason, Jittervuya left Kaid in, deciding to take care of Mira first. Although, Red Vipers have shown us that they can use Mira to some great extent should she be allowed in play. The first side itself will be underway on second floor. Kids, dorms, and dorms main hall from the looks of it. But before that, let's have a look at both of the rosters that are here in the lobby for us today. From the side of Jittervuya, we've got Taurus, God, Shockin, Ghost, and Gutsy. And from the side of Red Vipers, we've got Anaconda, Bear for Electric, Ali G, and Seth. And I've been talking about a lot of things for a long time, and I've kept the man for the mic long enough. Baba, how do you do on this fine evening?
Well, I'm doing absolutely great, Jack. And talking about Div 2 matches here, Jittervuya going up against Red Vipers. Both of them they're not having a good day at all. Currently in the bottom of the positionings according to the standings wise, with VPG in the first position, just basically to fight to make sure that they would survive staying in Division 2, or else they would unfortunately get relegated to Division 3. And talking about relegation, Jittervuya unfortunately couldn't deal with some of the major problems, especially not being able to win a single matches here. Single matches on the side of Jittervuya, though. On the side of Red Vipers, they did, however, win one, having a negative 16 round conversion rate. Currently in third, currently having 3 points. Actually, Jeter though, they actually did 1-2 runs. I do have to apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. Currently in 5th position, they have won 2 matches with a total of 6 points. Now, if Red Vipers win, they'll be able to at least put their scoreboard to at least try to equalize against Jeter, and they would need one more match to make sure that they would not be relegated out of this division. For now, let's just focus into the action phase as Jeter will be the one on attack. We will see the Zofia using the impact nades to open up and also destroy the mute jammers, which is commonly placed in towards the games room. But for now, we don't see any denial game coming in from the defenders wise. You can see some utility denials, the Vomais, the Jaegers, and also you have the Goyo's Vulcan shield to give much more of protection and also denial both at the same time. So no breach denials. It's just utility denials coming in from Red Vipers and also good amount of holding positionings as well. One of the Goyo shields gets popped off from the Ash's breaching charge. Very interesting deployable shield here. 3 deployable shield in the attic room. Not sure why Red Vipers have made a decision to do it, but I mean, I believe that they have a reason why they would add those 3 deployable shield to make sure that they would add a lot of focus on trying to take out those deployable shield into the attic room, and looks like it might work out here. Shocking. Dealt with some major damage, 20 HP, he will fall back, and looks like Anaconda, as aggressive as ever, he will decide to push in, try to be in towards the breached wall, in which Ghost will be able to detect it and gets taken out here. Meanwhile, the first frag is going to be Shocky taking out Seth. Anaconda prep and ready with the shotgun, but unfortunate time for Smoke to lose that gunfight, because you have God to win it. And with it, Jeter is looking strong here. 5v3, 50 seconds left for them to make their play, but will Bear forget the head? No, it does not. God with the double kill, making it a 5v2. An instant refrag will come in from the Jaeger in towards the attic, making it a 4v2.
Well, Shotgun finds another one in the meanwhile. Ali G to go down, and now it's all onto Electric. Last man standing. His position inside of Attic has been given away, and they're all trying to get him. As there's a couple of attackers low on HP, the Ash will go down first, but he doesn't see the ace, the planter, and Ghost will come in, finish him off before the situation got out of hand. A very clean round from Jiravuya, all things considered. Certainly a lot better than we've seen them perform for the majority of the season. That's not a slight on them, by the way. They are 5th right now, just barely above Throw Syndicate. And that's not exactly a good position to be. 1 or 2 losses, and say Throw Syndicate or Red Vipers wins their games later on. Well, Red Vipers, of course, this game is big for them. Should they win this, they have a chance of forcing Jiravuya down a spot and putting them in relegations. That wouldn't exactly look too good either. Both teams currently fighting against the tide of getting pushed back down to Division 3. And Red Vipers will have to fight just a little bit harder than they did in that first round. Now going back to second floor kids dorms in dorms main hall. I'm going to be interested to see how this defense goes. Just like Baba noted, you know, a bunch of deployable shields gathered up in one particular area instead of being spread out, you know, like we are used to see when it comes to second floor defenses. If you're bringing in multiple deployable shields, you see, for instance, two Vulcan shields, one probably outside the kids' dorms, and one maybe in the hallway if you're feeling particularly brave. One goes usually on tower, and it's that third one, right? That second or third one, whichever you look at it, that's the one that teams usually, you know, are most fluid with. For instance, there's a deployable shield inside of the attic door. That's one we see fairly commonly, but not as common as I would say the one outside of kids' dorms, directly in front of the white stairs door. That one, of course, is a bit more vulnerable, requires a bit more of a hold on a white stairs, so maybe Red Vipers aren't about to emphasize towards that region, or maybe they just aren't confident about holding from that deployable shield. They're not going to have it there. They're going to put it in at different areas, different positions, if you will, and that makes 2 deployable shields this time inside of attic. Gutsy. Nomad in hand, getting those air jabs into important positions, making sure that the flank routes are covered. One more to go after. It's going to be quite, interesting to see how he... Oh, well done. It seems that Yep. It seems that my own internet has decided to start acting up for whatever reason today. Hopefully, it doesn't completely disconnect me. That would be a little bit of a shame. But I am currently here, so, you know, well, I am definitely here, but I hope Red Viper shows up in this match as well, nice and quickly. Like I said, that first round wasn't exactly the best indicator of what this team is capable of. Magnets going out as the Vulcan shield has been popped thanks to the tower push coming in from Jitter Viewer. They really want Addict to be their own. Flashbangs going in as well as other utilities. You have the Ash Charges taking care of Banshees. Ali G's little utility has been cleaned up on his Bearfur. He's thrown 3 magnets in that region now. That last one going off just now, but you have God pushing up the Zofia very close on that trophy door. He could make a big play for it, but of course, he's also afraid of the breach, the Selma, that the ace is trying to peek. Not quite. He's playing it cautiously, as he should. Ghost can't get too far ahead of himself. If he peeks that, and without knowing that the smoke is right there with the shotgun, he will be taken out. He's the man with the defuse as well, mind you. But Barefoot's going to find one. That's Taurus on the board. That's a big drop for Jirovia, most importantly, as the Hibana will go down at the 55-second mark.
Well, 50 seconds remains for Team Jettervia to make their play. It's going to be a 1v1 standoff from Anaconda and the Ace. Looks like God will be able to deal much more damage here to Bearfur, but he is still alive with that deployable shield. The drone will be able to give away his position and with it his life, and also equalizing the round count 4-4. Actually, the man count 4-4. Now there should be a time where the execution needs to come in. Smoke grenades will come in to block their line of sight. They will make their way, but they do not have any information into a second floor kids where the Melusi will claim the life of Ghost. And with it, there is still 3 players remain. Diffuser still dropped in towards the side. Bearful gets one more, taking out Gutsy. God gets one electric. Will take out Shocking, and with it, God will be the last man standing. It can happen. The 1v1 whips out the pistol, unfortunately. He couldn't find the last player at all. Red Vipers will be able to win round 2 second floor kids dom. As we take a look at in the instant replay, round 3 will proceed. And also, I'm trying to understand in Red Viper's perspective into why they've placed 3 deployable shields in towards the attic. Reason why they placed it is just pretty simple. They just wanted to make sure that the attic is basically not a soft floor. If it was a soft floor, it would have been a different scenario. But other than that, attic does not contain a soft floor. Second floor kids doms and the other side contains a soft wall in which the either of the Zofia's impact needs or Hibana's Excaros pellets, maybe an Ace Selma breach charge would work out to take out those deployable shield, which would force them to not place it in a particular position. So they decide to add all 3 of those deployable shields in attic. Maybe it's particularly my guess is to why Red Vipers have chose to done it. It's just it's quite odd to see 3 deployable shield in one particular angle, but to be honest, they actually did it twice, and I'm quite surprised that it actually worked out in the second round itself. Although the push was from Trophy and Team's Room, good amount of drone works coming in this time for Team Jetta Vyuha. Hopefully in round 3 basement laundry, we might be able to see Red Vipers trying to contain the situation. We do see 2 ADSs, actually 1 ADS right in towards the blue, and also the Melusi's Banshee deterrent right from the entrance of blue. Maybe one in towards the white stairs, and the other should be in nearby towards the side. So with it, they have the Maestro this time with the Evil Eye cams. And Shocking, he's just not wasting any time at all. He will take out the deployable shield in towards shower corridor, be able to find the footprints. Who's it going to be? It's going to be the Womai. Apparently, he's in towards the site, in towards Blue Bunker, in which the information will be nullified here. And also the attackers are a bit needs to be a bit careful here, since you have God, the Zofia, making sure that there isn't any roam plays coming in from Red Vipers, and with them completing the entire second and the first floor. They will just slowly make their way in towards the site. Now, the key factor into the Jet Reviewers line of attack is that you have the Ying this time, played by Taurus. You have those not the gas canisters. I do have to apologize for that. The Candelas and two smoke grenades from Ying, which would give a lot of advantage for the attackers, especially when they try to push in. Second ping will come in, and this time it's going to be the smoke who's going to get tagged with the Jackal scan, but it's just going to be two information pings. Looks like the attackers are a bit cautious and also quite worried onto their next plan, because they've been dealt with Anaconda, but that push is ill-advised. And whether Anaconda will actually get the life, pushing through smoke wasn't a good idea at all. He's going to be able to get the kill, but also refrag will come in taking out Seth as we proceed to the 1 minute mark.
Anaconda pushing up with the SMG, just about avoids getting shredded by the AK, throws out another gas canister, I believe, and that's going to force Ghost back, but Electric is here making plays. He's found one more. Candelas go off, but that's from inside the site. The Ying's already in, caught in a Banshee, but gets refragged by the Maestro, and that is Taurus off the board. Bearfer is going to take that Gutsy, unfortunately. It's disconnected. That's going to leave Ghost, the last man standing. Unfortunate, and in a bad situation to boot. 1v3 for the Ace coming down main stairs. He's got, of course, the Meister Cam to worry about, giving away his position, and the Meister himself just playing around that supply room closet. He wants this kill, you can tell, or at the very least tag up the Ace if he can. Loses his cam, unfortunately, and that's going to force Ghost back to first floor. He only has 15 seconds remaining, of course. Not a whole lot to do from here, but there we go. Ali G will take him down, and Gutsy will return, but unfortunately he will return to some bad news. Round 3 going the way of Red Vipers, and I do have to apologize. The number 3 came up, and I wasn't really paying attention to the line. My brain was like 3-1. No, it's 2-1. 2-1 in favor of Red Vipers going into first floor meeting hall and kitchen, as Jiravuya's attack was entirely dismantled, and I have to say it pretty much began as soon as the Zofia God pushed in through white through the smoke. You have a canister from the operator, and then you have a smoke grenade from your Ace that's blocking plenty of line of sight. That and the fact that going through, you have a lot of sound effects with the operator inhaling the smoke and whatnot, and you can't essentially hear any small shuffling noises right next to you. Unfortunately, that is exactly where Anaconda was, and he was able to take that first kill. It really began from there, all the puzzle pieces falling into place for Red Vipers, and they never really let up the pressure from there. Although I do have to say, Anaconda, the way he pushed up onto Ghost was it was definitely something that I didn't think he should have been able to walk away from. But then again, the Ace was busy throwing a Selma breach, so I guess I can give him the benefit of the doubt. Right now, however, this is going to be an important site for Red Vipers. Why? Because meeting is not a site that many attacking teams on Oregon are actually able to hold completely, like through and through, or well for that matter. It's usually very messy rounds all over the place. It comes down to like a 1v1, 1v2 even, sometimes a 1v3. Some defensive rounds on this site have been very one-sided in favor of defenders, but a majority of them come very close and tend to sort of, tend to be a little all over the place from both sides. Given... Oh, yep. Oh.
Well, it looks like we just lost Jack right at there, but for now, talking about this round itself, currently Red Vipers winning their 2 defensive rounds will give Jetarviha a bit of a pressure here. They have to deal with Anaconda in towards the second floor attic, and also you have Seth and Electric, both of them holding that specific place. Buck with an interesting rappel right at the window. He's going to go towards the roof, but unfortunately, Shocking gets taken down and also gets eliminated from Anaconda here. A good early kill coming in on the side of Team Red Vipers, and not a good day here for Team Jetterway yet again, as they're going to go down taking out Shocking. Although There is God. He's just making his way in towards the games room. Needs to be careful in towards the attic, in which he'll be able to find one. A beautiful shot taking out Seth. Be able to equalize the round, equalize the man count though. But the proximity alarms will be able to give away his positionings, and also a beautiful wall bang there from Anaconda, taking out God immediately as he heard that proximity mine. And Electric gets one more, taking out Gutsy, and it all goes down to a very difficult 2v5 situation here. Jet Reviewha, Taurus, and Ghost, the soft breacher as well as the hard breacher, who needs to figure out a way to eliminate at least two of the players, in which one of them is currently in towards second floor kids' dorms, and also the other in towards the attic, holding the attic hatch. Now, Buck really needs to be careful of that proximity mine though, because if the proximity mine beeps again, Castle will be able to immediately go for that wall bang and immediately get those kills. And also the main thing that they have to be concerned about is the time that Team Jet 2 is taking quite a lot here. 35 seconds for the attackers to make their play. And unfortunately, they are still trying to figure out a way to get in towards the site. Looks like they might have figured out a solution here. The Ace Silver recharges to open up the meeting wall, but the problem is that you have Anaconda holding in towards the kitchen. He doesn't know where exactly the Buck's location is, and looks like RSG will be able to take out Ghost. It all goes down to 1v4 location situation here. Pre-fire will come in that would give away his position, and also the final kill comes in from Barefoot, taking out Taurus as well. Red Vipers are in a huge lead here, winning 4 rounds of defense, this time winning on first floor meeting and kitchen. As we proceed to the next round, round 5. Looks like it's going to be a very difficult day yet again for Team Jet Review Hard though. Although I do have to appreciate God, because he did try to, get control in towards the attic, but unfortunately he didn't knew that there was that proximity mine that led Anaconda go for that beautiful wall bang right from the UMP. Proximity mines are a secondary gadget that the attackers should be really careful on, because that would give huge amount of information, and also kind of acts as an information uh, kind of is an information gadget here, which would alert the defenders on where exactly the push is coming from. So a good use of gadget, and also a good kill coming in from Red Vipers. As we proceed to round 5, second floor kids bomb will be the site, and also it will be the same positionings of deployable shields. Yet again, 3 deployable shields in towards the attic, and also met with a total of 3 ADSs, I believe, and also 4 magnets, which will arrive in time, and he'll just keep throwing those discs to make sure that the utility from the attackers will waste a lot of time. That is very curious, very odd, and also a very surprising deployable shield placement. They're doing this for the third time, but they did, however, win it in round second. Maybe they might have something else that they want to check it out. Maybe if this strat works out well. But who knows? As we proceed to the action phase, round 5 will proceed.
Round 5 proceeding into action phase, and I have to say, Red Vipers did pretty well in the previous round, at the very least, to make sure that they did not have any problems in that site. Now that they've taken, 3 back-to-back rounds, they got to make sure that they don't get too far ahead of themselves. Again, Jiravuya is still above them in terms of positioning. Red Vipers will need to win this and any other matches that they have between tonight and tomorrow to, at the very least, keep themselves in Division 2. That is their main goal right now, if you will. And with Seth out on the roam, that's going to be, something we sort of keep an eye on. Seth, by himself, broke the record for the highest kills in the entire league. Currently on the Goyo by first floor classroom. Flashbangs are being caught by the magnets. In the meanwhile, Bearfrey is going to toss one more out towards attic nice and quickly, as Seth still holding first floor. He might be able to find one, mind you. There is the Sophia, sees it, tries to take the head, but doesn't. Only tags God just a little bit and falls right back onto white stairs of sight, inside the site as well. He's going to just stay back, hang back, make sure that all operators are alive for Red Vipers as they brace for this push that's about to come in from Jiravuya. And Anaconda will start things off by finding one, but get taken down by Shotgun in the meanwhile. That's a big drop for the side of the defense. The smoke has been lost towards Closet. But I feel as if the Summer Breach was stopped, before it made a rotate, excuse me. Once again, a bit of a stutter. Pull. Oh, well then. Was that a team kill? Yep. It was unfortunate. Gutsy will take down his own teammate right there. That's not a good look for the side of Jiravuya. They are definitely panicking ever so slightly, if you will. And now with the drones coming in, they need to get into sight quickly. There is this rotate made by the Summer Breacher. Shocking, peeking this, doing the quick peeks, doing all the Ash stuff that he needs to. But he's not finding any heads. That's the main issue. Flashbang caught up by ADSs, and all three attackers are concentrated onto Trophy with only one down below. That's the Hibana trying to come up wide, but no, gets the vertical angle against the Jaeger. 3 versus 3 now. Taurus with the kill as they're trying to push up. You have Seth holding at it. He sees one. Can he get the head? No, gets taken out instead. Zulmai tries to come in for the refrag, and he does barefoot, but there's someone right outside his door. He still gets him. It's a double for him, and now it's all down to Taurus, who will go down to Ali G. Jiravuya, they could have made that round their own had the Nomad pushed in along with the Ash. That pincer movement was exactly what they needed, but they didn't do it. Just that little lapse of coordination, and the entire round fell right apart, as we will see in the instant replay. 4-1. As Red Vipers have a much larger lead than they had not too long ago, and they are looking to make this first half entirely their own as we move into the 6th round, the last round before roll swap. Red Vipers, 4-1.
Well, things are not looking too well here for Team Jiravuya, and also the round in which we are about to see to an end here, the round of 6. To see what's going to happen. Is it going to be a 4-2, or is it going to be a 5-1 in favor of Team Red Vipers? And that decision is being made on the site called Basement Laundry and Supply Room. A very common site, as I like to call it. The only difference is the amount of utilities and also gadgets being placed here from the defenders. And looks like they'll be able to bring out 2 of the anchored operators here. You have Anaconda with the smoke, and also Bearfur with the Maestro's Evil Eye Cam. The only problem is, will it work out here? And talking about the only side Jiravuya had won, that should be around 2nd floor kids dorms. So they did not, however, win on the basement laundry room, which it is going to give a lot of problems here for Team Jiravuya. But let's see what's going to happen here as we proceed to the action phase. And looks like Seth is already prepped and ready with the run out in towards the window of Big Towers, right in towards the Big Tower, hoping to make sure that they'll be able to get at least 1 or 2 kill to the players who have spawned in towards construction. Now, they could have been gone for yet another spawn kill right in the windows of Armory, but they decided not to go for it and just decides to just try to play this passively, just to wait for the attackers to enter in towards the building, and that's exactly what Seth is going to do. The pre-fire should warn the Nomad, saying that there is 1 player, and with it, it's just going to be a lot of waiting time for the attackers, and then figure out a way to eliminate Valkyrie, which is currently in towards the right in towards the boiler. But for now, the attackers, especially making their play with a total of 2 Ash breaching charges to try to take out, looks like it will succeed, taking out 1 of the Maestro camps, which forced them to not have information. But looks like that information might cost them a lot here. Anaconda with the SMG-11 taking out God this time would put them in a very tough spot.
A very tough spot might end. Oh, there we go. Excuse me right there. A very tough spot might be a bit of an understatement. If they do lose this round, Jiravuya, they're going to have to make this one their own if they want to have a bit of a launching pad to make a comeback. And it's certainly still possible, but from 1-5, it is very much a largely uphill task. And that slope isn't exactly too gentle. Anaconda throws out another canister. That was his last right there. Flashbangs coming off in the meanwhile towards Boiler as we are approaching 60 seconds. The push is about to fall in. All in fact. And the Selma goes off. Seth very close to that breach newly made. So is Anaconda. They're trying to see if they can get the ace as he tries to roll in, but no. Seth moves out towards the main table as Bearfer finds Gutsy and Shocking. He has to make a move. It's now or never, but he's too. I don't know, not sure as to why he's not moving from there. He needs to soon if his team is to secure this round. The ace will not quite be seen. Ghost is going to find one. There goes another from the back in the meanwhile. That's your Hibana in, but gets refragged nice and quickly. The Ash follows up, tries to get a kill, can't. Seth is falling back nice and quickly as you have those proximity alarms going off. Ghost has made his way inside of the meanwhile. Anaconda was taken down. That means the plant can go off. They just need to hold the hallway. I don't think anyone is, but the plant does still go off. Unfortunate. And now they're going to start falling back in. It's a retake for the defenders as Red Vipers need to get in there. Will there one will be seen? That's the Ash gone down. Ali's been down in the meanwhile, but the kill is confirmed instead. Ghost is off the board, and that, with the counter defense going off, will be Red Vipers taking another round. 5-1 on the first half. It has definitely been Red Vipers' first half entirely, and that is going to be a good way to go into attack indeed. Oregon attack, not exactly the easiest thing in the world, but of course, Jiravuya can tell us just a bit more about that than Red Vipers can in this instant. Round 7 will be underway. Second floor kids dorms and dorms main hall. And I have to say, post-plant retake was it was decent from the side of Red Vipers. You know, there weren't too many issues with that could have derailed the whole idea. But I'm kind of interested to know how Taurus just managed to bulldoze his way through the back. You know, the entire supply room. He went through that into the rotate, took out a kill, and then he was refragged by Seth. Bit of a lapse of concentration from Red Vipers, but again, 5-1 would say otherwise. And, you know, I certainly can't disagree that they've done well on defense. So if we are not exactly looking too good, maybe the defense can show us a different side to them. Let's find out now that round 7 is underway.
Well, as we proceed to round 7, 5-1 will be the scoreline favoring the side of Team Red Vipers. And looks like they just need 2 more rounds to win against Team Jetter Vyuha. The only difference is that we're going to be able to see Jetter Vyuha on defense this time. So we'll be able to see whether Red Vipers' attack is going to be a bit of a change from Jetter Vyuha's defense, though. We're to find out in the action phase itself. One of the deployable shield will be placed in towards the trophy entrance to hold an angle right from the master bedroom entrance. Although there might be yet another Goyo's Vulcan shield or a deployable shield being placed at the bathroom side to hold that vertical lines of sight. Not the vertical lines of sight. It's just trying to contest the player who's trying to enter in towards the balcony of the master bedroom. It's a common push that most of the attackers would make. You know, you have those hard breaches to open up line of sight. It is a necessity. It is a necessity to have a hard breacher to open up the attic or even in the second floor games room so that they could plan their steps ahead, especially on a site like second floor kids dorm. Red Vipers needs to make sure that the plan works out perfectly. And talking about that drone was talking about their control in towards the nearby site. It is pretty decent because they did it all in just 2 minutes left. And looks like JV will try to answer the statement back. Taking out Anaconda this time, the Nomad unfortunately won't be available, but her air jabs are still placed in right from outside the building, which would deny the chances of being flanked. But 2 kills will come in from Shocking and God, taking out both Electric and Seth. And looks like Red Vipers, it will be their turn to feel the pain. 1 minute 30 seconds left for them to make their play, and it is 2 hard breaches here. The Ace and the Thermite, who did open up the walls, but now they're just trying to figure out a way to get inside. Thatcher still worried about the Jaeger. The ADS will get caught out from the flashbangs, but not the second flashbang though, which can give him the opportunity to get in, but no. It's not going to happen though, because you have the Vector SMG to give good amount of support here. They'll be able to take out Ali G, and with it, Bearfur will be the last man standing. A good free fire yet again, but it's going to be the Vector, aka God, taking out Bearfur, and with it, Jetter Vyuha will win. Round 7, second floor kids dorm. A job well done to the side of Team Jeter Vyuha. And with it, we will proceed to the next round. Round 8 will proceed. Looks like the site for Team Jeter Vyuha to defend would be in basement laundry and supply room.
Basement, laundry, and supply room from the side of the defense. Jirivuya, pretty good round right there on second floor. Red Vipers on the other side, not exactly looking too good on their attack. I'm not sure what went wrong, but their clearance certainly wasn't there, if you will. And that, of course, showed as they got taken out quite fairly cleanly, if you will. And now, JV, they're just going to make sure that basement is also the site that they can take nice and easily, not with too much issue, if you will. Red Vipers, they're going to have to step up their attack quite a bit if they want to make sure that they will take this match again. This match is very important for both sides. Jirivuya, should they win, this will put themselves in a better position, give themselves a better chance to stay in Div 2. And Red Vipers, if they win this, they will also put themselves in a good position and chance to win. Well, not win, but stay in Div 2. I mean, given that they are, again, currently 7th in the leaderboard with only 3 points to their name, it's not exactly, there's not exactly much of a chance of them winning Div 2 and going to Div 1. That would be that's a very, very improbable outcome of the situation. And we're about to see if that is going to happen or not. Shocking, trying to go for a pistol spawn pick. I appreciate the effort, my man, but at that distance, it wasn't exactly likely that he was about to hit someone, and he didn't, even though he did fire a few shots. No attackers have taken any damage. They're just going to move on as normal. Droning tower, that's going to find Gutsy and the Malusi, in fact. 2 operators found, but no push to follow that up. Red Vipers, of course, knows that they can't exactly contest this. The way that they are currently assembled on the map, they would need a slightly more concentrated push. Maybe one going through 3rd floor of tower to clear out the both of them, because 3rd floor tower is usually a pretty powerful position to be in for defenders and attackers alike. Ali G, he spotted that window on the armory hallway. Think he's marking that for his teammates to say that, hey, that's open, we might be able to push through here. And or just to be careful that there's somebody in that region. Second roaming isn't exactly entirely off the board for Jirivuya right now, as Red Vipers are just convening, trying to see what they can get away with. Ali G getting the half breach done in the meanwhile. Thermite, the only hard breacher from Red Vipers as well. I'm surprised. Thought that they would emphasize on a little bit of Hibana, but they're not going to. Shocking, he tried to take the kill onto Electric, couldn't quite get it, even though the Zofia is on half HP. Excuse me right there. A little bit of damage done, but unfortunately, without the kill being taken, it's just going to make the late round a little bit harder. Minute 15 on the clock as Red Vipers are closing in, but the big difference is, I did say that Electric not being taken down is going to... It's all... Excuse me, it's going to make things harder for Jirivuya as well, but okay, maybe not like that. Gutsy, unfortunately, watching the wrong end entirely, gets taken down by Electric, merely pushing down the back stairs as Ali G has dropped in, thanks to that clearance being confirmed. But a C4 comes in to find Seth, and Shocking goes down, so does Taurus. It's a 2v4 suddenly, the Thermite's in, and they're trying to go in to get the plant down. Electric is doing that, but his cover has just been taken care of. The warning goes down, in the meanwhile, Ghost is off the board, and now it's all down to God, the last man standing, finds one more. It's a triple kill for him, and he could very well be on for an ace clutch right now. Needs to watch the hallway. There's somebody out there, as Electric will find him, just getting the hands shot as God will go down. Unfortunate, as Red Vipers will be the one to take another round. Basement Laundry is theirs, as that late round attack certainly worked out in their favor. More so than anything, it was down to, the side of Jirivuya, not exactly watching where you think they'd be watching. I especially, of course, mean Gutsy, given that he was on that blue bunker door to boiler, probably should have been a little bit more aware of what was happening on the back stairs. That was an angle he was very much susceptible to. He didn't, of course, and he got taken out quickly. And then, of course, the entire rest of that push went through as it did. We all saw it, of course. It was a good push. A few mistakes here and there, but Red Vipers, with that, have taken match point. They stand one round away from giving themselves 6 points. Well, 3 points by winning this game, putting themselves on 6 points, going up a position, and maybe, potentially, securing themselves a ticket to stay in Division 2, as of course they have, and so does Jirvuya, have other matches to go through. And who will be eliminated, who won't be, hasn't quite been set in stone yet. Although, Clickbait's chances aren't exactly looking too good now that I look at that leaderboard. 8th position, no points on the table. Ew. Yeah, that you hate to see that, if you will. Basement Laundry and Supply Room, side of choice once again, has potential. Oh. Yep, there we go. I was about to end my speaking bit there. Okay, thank you very much. Anyway, the next round is underway and match point has been taken. Red Vipers, can they win this?
Well, that's the biggest question here. Jetter Vyuha, a bit of good secondary gadgets here. 3 C4s, I believe. Well, actually, 2 C4s and 2 impact nades, in which Taurus has the 2 impact and so does Ghost. Who's currently playing as the Womai 2. You have Seth and Electric. Currently in towards the window, and so does the Ace, who is making his way in towards the blue. He just needs that direct control and also that surprise attack from Electric, as it did take out the Jaeger right at the entrance of the boiler room. It is very specific and also very important. A total of 3 flashbangs gets caught up, and also a very bad timing to use the magnet nades. Personally gets taken out, but still it would give them an angle in towards Electric, and looks like Ghost wouldn't be able to win that gunfight against Seth. So does Shocking taking out Electric, putting Red Vipers in a very bad situation here. 5v3. They've lost both Electric and Seth, and looks like they'll be able to lose one more from Ghost's Og, taking out Anaconda. And looks like Red Vipers are back at it again in a very bad situation here. It's kind of like a similar repeat of round 7 second floor kids dorms, where they were left with a 2v4 situation. Now it is a 2v5, and Taurus is just waiting for the head to pop out. Is just the timing. Didn't actually get it right, and with it, the Thermite will actually claim the life, taking out Valkyrie, and would give them the entire control in towards meeting. Now he will give the angle in towards the Electric, and also will be able to take out the Valkyrie camps, which was in towards meeting. Looks like Alaji is already in towards the site here. Supply room, all he needs is a support from his team. One push. Oh, the Goyo is right in towards the laundry. He doesn't even see where exactly Thermite's location is.
Boy.
And Ali G is still right at it. The C4, the push, will it connect? Yes, it does. God is going to take out Ali. And with it, Bearfur will be the last man standing, pushing in towards the big tower. The pre-fire will come in from God, but it's going to be Shocking with the MP5 to take out Bearfur, and with it, Jetter Viha will stay alive, winning round 9 basement laundry. And with it, we will proceed to round 10, where the round is actually 3-7, I believe. Favoring the side of Red Vipers, they still have 3 more rounds to make sure that they'll be able to put this match on overtime. But oh boy, less amount of information is coming in on the side of Team Jetter Vyuha, unless and until if the Thermite knew exactly where Goyo's location was, or maybe eliminated the player in towards the hallway which connects both the supply room as well as the freezer. It would have been a different scenario there, but unfortunately he didn't had his teammates to cover his back, because he was at a very different location. Though he was in towards big tower stairs when Thermite got down from the C4 toss from God. Looks like it's going to be much more of a difficult place for both Red Vipers and Jetter Vyuha, because currently for Red Vipers, they just need one more attack round to win against Jetter Vyuha. And Jetter Vyuha, they are 3 rounds away to make sure that they'll be able to put this match on overtime. And talking about the site, it was on Basement Laundry that they lost in the second half. So Jetter Vyuha, if they do, however, win the second floor kids dorms and win on round 10, The next round will be much more difficult part because the site will be on meeting slash kitchen or at kitchen and dining, in which both of those two sites are very difficult for the defenders unless and until if they get that vertical control in towards second floor kids. Make sure that the attacker wouldn't get that control and waste a lot of time. But for now, focusing on this action phase, the side being on second floor kids, the attackers will spawn in. And let's see whether Red Vipers will end this once and for all.
Given that it is 6-3 in their favor, Red Vipers, of course, trying to make this round their own. Unfortunately, the last time they came to attack second floor kids' dorms, it didn't exactly go too well. They were taken out just a bit too early. They weren't, clearing or particularly droning themselves in too well. And they're going to see those same deployable shields with the Goyo and whatnot in play. Electric opening up that bedroom door, excuse me, right there. As Shocking, I think that was an ash charge from below. Yes, it was Seth making sure to take care of the utilities towards Attic. That way the breach will come through, but he's also peeking that. I'm not sure if that's advisable given that there's multiple operatives from the side of the defense that are just sitting there and waiting. Ali G throwing in the flashbang, 1 and 2, making sure that utility is clear, and there you go. One shield will be taken care of nice and quickly, but no, where did that shot come from? That was out of kids' dorms. Well then, Shotgun gets a kill through a couple of windows, and Seth will be the one to fall. Unfortunate, and that's not exactly a way you want the round to begin. Gutsy opening up that wall as there's some damage being dealt to him. Not quite. It was a surprise by Sophia. Impact from below. Anaconda finds God, and meanwhile, that is your Goyo down, the one who was manning that main deployable shield onto its trophy. Castle barricade broken nice and quickly, but Gutsy will find Barefoot with a C4. That's unfortunate. And, that barricade breaking was quite telegraphed for a long time now, so I'm not really surprised that that kill did go through. Anaconda's got to be careful. There's a Banshee right next to him. And Ali G, that push was not required there. You need to watch your longer angles. Anaconda comes in with a refrag. 3 versus 2 right now. As he's inside a trophy, could make things happen. Shock and Taurus and Gutsy are the last three, standing against Red Vipers. Is remaining 2 attackers. Anaconda and Electric trying to go in. No damage dealt to them so far, which they'll be thankful for. But they need to get in. That's the main issue. They're not doing that. They're not, getting into sight. They're getting taken down instead. Anaconda, long angle, could not fight it. So does the Zofia go down. And Jiravuya will continue to take rounds, continue to fight for themselves in this match as a sudden and slightly surprising comeback potential could be realized right here. We're at round 11. It's 6-4. Jiravuya taking full advantage of Oregon's defense and Red Vipers' attack, just like it has been all season. Not exactly doing them any favors whatsoever. First floor meeting and kitchen will be the site of choice. Red Vipers are still on match point, and once again, they just got taken off one by one. No joint pushes. The droning, while it was there to facilitate utility removal, but when they actually try to get the push in, they seem to get distracted. They seem to not really be looking where they should be. And some of that, of course, again, could be attributed down to them not really looking at the angles that are being presented in front of them. For instance, that castle kill onto the thermite inside of Attic. How does that go through if the thermite was not busy? Ali G, if he was not busy with trying to take care of the Banshee, had he known that that angle was there, he probably wouldn't have peeked the way he did. Maybe he could have gone from somewhere else. He could have requested assistance from that bedroom wall that was being opened. None of that came through. Red Vipers has been very lackluster on the other side of roll swap, and that has prevented them from sealing the deal on this game. A game that really should have been theirs by now, but Jiravuya are fighting back, much to their credit as well. So who knows, we might get to see an overtime game, or it could end right here, right now. Let's find out. That's round 11. It's action phase.
Well, I do have to agree on that, Jack. Talking about how Red Vipers, in which most of the gunfights they lost by not taking out the Banshee deterrence. Even while you had the Ash using the breaching charge, they did try to use it to try to open up the deployable shield. Unfortunate for Seth though, because the Jaeger, who was right at the windows of kids, decides to pre-fire from second floor kids in towards the big tower window, and somehow he actually gets that kill, taking out Seth immediately. That would give Thermite to defend all by himself to try to push in towards the attic. But now, since the site is in first floor meeting, things should be a bit much more difficult here for Jetterviha. The drones will be able to give away Shocking's current location, which is currently in towards the white stairs. And talking about the scoreboard itself, we have two of the players here, God and Shocking, having a total of 11 and 12 kills. These two players, they're just making sure that they would get these wins as best as possible to make sure that they'll be able to survive second half and put this match on overtime. But in order to do that, they need to win two more defensive rounds, and looks like Electric is not going to waste any time at all. Shocking gets caught from the drone twice and gets taken out, which would force him to go downstairs and give away the current the line of sight, and also the vertical lines of sight to the attackers here. But do they know, is God already prepped and prepared with that angle being used around here? The site, knowing that the site is in towards meeting, they'll be able to take out the bandit charges, and also the attackers should make their way in towards the meeting wall, in which it will be opened at any time soon. They'll be able to go with a smoke plant, but still needs to be careful of these roamers. Yes, Gutsy already in towards the basement laundry. Anaconda just giving them the information saying to open the wall, so they'll be able to go for the push. Gutsy not having any information would give Electric a very easy kill. But the amount of drone work that's been happening here, Ghost still manages to win that gunfight, taking out Anaconda and Electric both at the same time here from God. Putting in a 4v3, Ghost is still alive, and he is making sure that they would give Red Vipers a very bad time. It's not going to work out well yet again, as Taurus is here with the knife to take out Bearfur as we proceed to the 22nd half.
Oh boy, Taurus, I don't think he quite saw that smoke, but he gets team killed instead. Ali G, no, not like this. He wanted to take care of the smoke as well. Gets tagged up by the SMG and gets shot from the back as well. That's God coming in to finish off the work. Oh no. Red Vipers are quite literally imploding in front of our eyes, ladies and gentlemen, as that entire push through the meeting door. Again, what was that? There is a cross angle from the other side of the other site. Why is that being contested? Because you just want to take care of the Jaeger. I understand that time is an issue. Where is the second floor push? Where is the roam clear? Anything. This is what, only the second match in the entirety of this Pro League that has ever made me question everything I know about competitive Rainbow Six. And that is not an understatement. Both of these teams have really just made, I know that Foxy had a similar experience. Was it yesterday or the day before? It was one of the Division 3 matches this season, that is for sure. And I can certainly feel his, I can understand his feelings, shall we say. Right now, of course, going into the round of ones. Yes, we are in fact on round 12. A match that started out on the other side of roll swap 5-1 in favor of Red Vipers has found itself here with Jitterhuya on the precipice of going to overtime. That is a statement of both how Jitterhuya has made the defense somewhat their own. They've definitely played it a lot better than they did their attack. I will give credit where credit is due, but it's also a statement of the there's better words and much choicier words I want to say for this, but since we're on stream, I'll just restrict myself to the unfortunate set of circumstances that Red Vipers have really just crafted for themselves. It's a self-made implosion that we're getting to see right now, and who knows, maybe it'll continue, maybe it might not. Jitterhuya are definitely hoping for the fact that they are gonna push for overtime. If they're able to, then a comeback will have hit the point where it no longer is completely undeniable. Why I say that is because Red Vipers could still end this comeback here and now on this basement laundry site if they are willing, and if they are able to get their coordination, their droning and everything in place before everything really goes awry. William, meanwhile, they will simply be doing what they have done so far. They know that it's worked to a degree, even though they've had certain instances, if you will, where they really could, excuse me, where they really could have done a little better. C4 goes out. Interesting situation to use that, as Electric will take a ton of damage from it as well. But of course, he's not dead, so that's the big plus point for him. He's going to go on to his gunfight, as Taurus's position has been given away. Interesting pre-fire right there, but an angle's going to be open. He's going to punish the Zofia instead, as Capital's coming in. His position will be given away too, as Gutsy finds another. Ali G goes down, and now it's suddenly a 3 versus 5. Red Vipers, they will finally take a refrag. That's Seth taking down Taurus, but so much HP gone simply because he didn't know that the Valkyrie had pushed up. Although I will say that in that situation, it could have been a little hard to tell what was going on, given all the noise and probably their comms as well. Other than that, though, again, Red Vipers' push not looking too good. Two completely unrelated kills going off, and the way they did should not have happened. Anaconda, make sure that the freezer hatch is open. He himself pushes down freezer stairs. There's a line of sight that he has to be very careful of. And now at the minute mark, wait, the diffuser is on Big Tower. I don't know if Red Vipers has entirely thought things through. Bearfoot's going to go and recover that nice and quickly, but time is being wasted the longer they take, and the more time is wasted, the less likely this push is. As Anaconda, again, not the right area to be watching that angle from.
Well, even with the down, it's going to be the last man standing, the Nomad, who is making his way in towards the white stairs with a total of 30 seconds left. Already the teams who were holding an angle, he will get 1 kill, but he needs to find 3 more here. He will find Shocking, he needs to find God, Ghost, and Gutsy, who is making their way, but unfortunately it won't happen. With it, Jetruviha will win round 12 Basement Laundry, even with the huge problems that they had to deal with in the first half. And looks like, Jack, we are going to round 13, and I guess I'm going to leave the mic back to you here.
Well, I believe, what is the thing that we're meant to say here? Oh, right. Yeah, we are ready to rumble, ladies and gentlemen. Round 13 is underway. 6-6 is the scoreline. And Red Vipers, once again on the attack. Jiravia holding on second floor kids' dorms and dorms main hall, as they will, they have actually made their way to overtime. They've made this comeback most of the way through, if you will, but unfortunately, excuse me right there. But unfortunately, they still have a little ways to go. 2 more rounds, and they'll be able to call it a day with a good win under their belt. And Red Vipers, another example of why they really need to go back to the drawing board and figure things out again. And, I'm not saying that to be harsh. I really mean it. They need to revisit the drawing board. This is not the kind of play that is that will, stay here in Division 2. Other teams will take their place very happily and see if they are worthy to be in this tier. The tier where they get to fight against some Div 1 teams even. And, it's basically the proving ground in the Pro League. And with only 1 season to go, Red Vipers, I have to say, I don't think they were quite ready, excuse me right there, for this division. Not to say too much of Jiruvuya, their performance hasn't exactly been something to set the world on fire. But compared to the way Red Vipers has been today, I will certainly say that Jiruvuya has done some things a little better, some things a lot, and some things they still need to improve heavily on. Excuse me right there. As that last round from Red Vipers, they went on the roam hunt, as you should, When it's basement, you want to make sure that the first and second floors are clear, especially against a team like JV, who has shown that they are privy to some good roam-related plays, if you will. And they tried to take care of the Valkyrie, but they lost their Zofia in that gunfight, an early C4, all of that stuff. Shocking in the wall takes a bit of damage from Nash Charge from below. Still alive, of course. And we'll just fall back nice and quickly. How many times have we seen this from Jiruvuya? You have the Jaeger holding right next to the wall to see if he can get somebody who wants to make any plays vertically. He doesn't, so he pushes back, and then, it takes a couple out from inside of Attic. And there you go, that's a line of sight that Bearfur, I don't think he knew of, and got taken out from. That's your Hibana gone. The other hard breacher already taken care of, and God's gonna find Seth in the meanwhile. That's a different peak in a different place, all the way out towards bedroom. That's another kill taken as the Goyo will take care of Sophia. And now it's a 3 versus 5. Red Vipers, once again, their attack not looking too good. Flashbangs, multiple flashbangs going off to take care of the Goyo shield. Inside of Attic, there's still the Goyo himself right outside of it. And he will fall back nice and quickly as... Wait, what was that explosion? Was that a No, that wasn't a Zofia thing. That was something else entirely. Of course, we'll figure that out later on. Right now, summer breaches are attempting to go off on that main wall. Not quite happening, as Red Vipers very much all over the place. And at least Ali G is watching that angle. He did get taken down from there the last time he pushed in. But with only 55 seconds to go, how much can they achieve in this round situation?
Well, talking about this round itself, Red Vipers have already lost 2 of the attackers as of now, but Electric will try to make amends here, taking out Shocking, but he needs to find 4 more players on the side of JV. Anaconda with a very aggressive push, but the EUMP will win that, downing him. But here comes Electric to the rescue, saving the life of Anaconda, but he's on the other side and he's going to get taken down as well. God will get the double kill. He needs to find 1 more, in which the Thermite is in towards the attic. He's going to get taken down as well. JV, after a lot of problems dealing in the first half, putting them in a 1-5, they will somehow put them in match point, overtime match point in the second half itself. And Jetravyuha will be on attack. And talking about that first half itself, the only site that they won is on second floor Kids Dorms, and looks like Red Vipers will go to that same site again. Second floor Kids Dorms. No, it's actually going to be on basement laundry and supply room here. But the only difference that I have to talk about is there is a chance that Red Vipers might be able to put it on maximum overtime, which would force them to be in attack again for Red Vipers. And knowing on how, it's knowing on how the attack coordination going in from Red Vipers, it is not favoring well here, because JV, they've already won almost all of the defending rounds except the site on basement laundry. The same thing goes to Red Vipers too. So I believe that this might go to the last round, where the player who currently is in the attacker side basically loses the round, unless and until Jetravyuha proves me wrong here. Since the site is on basement laundry, let's see what kind of push how JV is going to go here. You have the Ace Summer Breach charges, you have the Hibana Sexcaro pellets, which will be used to open up the hatches on both Electric and Freezer. The only difference is Ghost, and also a big question here whether he would if he would just make an angle from the Ace Summer Breach charges towards the supply room wall, or will he just make an entryway, which would give both an aggressive and also a very risky play. The reason why I'm saying a risky play is because Red Vipers on defense, they'll be able to use the opened wall in which Ace used, and they'll be able to, they'll be able to rotate quickly in towards blue and make their way in towards boiler. That is, would say, a very risky take, but looks like Jetravyuha has something much else to say here. 3 players already in towards basement laundry, 2 of the breaching charge being used, 3 of breaching charges being used, and looks like Anaconda, amidst all of that chaos that's been happening here, he'll be able to get one. Ali gets the other, taking out JP. Anaconda gets another one, taking out Taurus right from the freezer space. And again, just like I predicted, it is 2v5 in favor of Red Vipers this time. And oh boy, I'm not quite sure what to say here. 3 players who was in towards basement laundry stairs, and also one of them who was in towards freezer. Unfortunately, that strategy did not work out. Even with the drone was giving them information, it is not going to work well here for Team Jetravyuha. Looks like they will push in towards the big tower stairs, as the Nomad will give away his positioning. Bearfer still with the Alda. He is just waiting for JV to make their play. And Gutsy, he will join his teammate though in towards blue, and they will make that one final push. Make sure he'll be able to get at least 1 or 2 kills. A lot of time being wasted around here, and just like I predicted, maybe in the last round, if the teams are currently in the attack phase, we'll get to know who's going to win at the last round itself. That's what my basic prediction is. And seeing how it's going right now with Ali G taking out Gutsy and Barefoot taking out Ghost, this will be a flawless round for RB, winning round 14, and with it we will proceed to the final round, which would be 15. Now the only difference is who will be on attack. It's going to be on JV. Actually, it's going to be Red Vipers on attack and JV on defense. Who boy? And talking about the scoreboard itself, 13 kills and 18 kills. I mean, as we like as I like I asked the admin Eisen to open up the scoreboard to check out the kill cam. There you go. Thank you so much. Shocking with a total of 13 kills, God with 18, Electric with 12 kills, surprisingly enough, Anaconda with 10. Although he's currently in the fourth position, not quite sure what might be the reason, but still. We will proceed to the last round, round 15, with the side being on basement laundry and supply room. And let's see if my prediction comes true.
If if nothing else, round 14 really just showed us. I don't know about Baba, but for me, it really just showed that both of these teams really don't do well on attack. On our god, they just don't. I have to say, I'm sorry, I cannot contain these sorts of words for too long when it's the same thing, the same mistakes, the same takedowns over and over. They're just doing the same thing, and whichever team is on the defense is simply seeing that and thinking it's the same thing again. That has been the entire trade. Whenever we've come to basement laundry, Jiravuya thinks they can just try and force their way in without doing clearances, without doing any of the other work, and they get taken out. Red Vipers, on the other hand, their clearance game has been very much less than stellar, and they have been taken out as well time and time again, and we're seeing that. Well, there we go. Shocking. This time up on tower is going to be the one to get a kill. I think that may have been just an outside peek for the time being. But even then, that's Ali G off the board. That's one of your 3 hard breachers gone. And that's the thermite off the board. That's a very hard-hitting gun is also down. Excuse me, right there. And, given that this is, of course, the final round of the match, as whoever wins or loses, there's no coming back from this. It's not going to be a good start for Red Vipers at all. Chiravuya, very early reinforcement close-off right there on the elbow of Blue Bunker. Anaconda, of course, just pre-firing it, making sure nobody was playing baits right there. And taking care of the Banshee. A little late to that, admittedly, but of course you had the Ash watching the other door, so no harm, no foul. Summer Breach will go off nice and quickly. Excuse me right there, as Anaconda has gone very close, but the angle's being watched from afar as he's taken some damage. That's probably from the drone hole right next to him that he's not aware of, but he does move out, and that was what was required right then and there. You have the defenders ready to peek at a moment's notice, and they are just waiting to see if they can get a kill or two. Goomine's going off. That's, of course, onto Seth as he's just trying to push down the back stairs. We have the hatches being opened. Some clearance is being done from the side of Red Vipers. But of course, they're, doing what they need to do, but can they still emphasize off of this? Shocking takes a bit of damage, but of course, no bodies have been dropped. Jiravuya's defense is completely unperturbed so far, and that's the biggest issue for Red Vipers. Yet, they haven't found a single body while falling into sight. The Blue Bunker push was unfortunately a little too skewed right there, but Ghost will go down as Anaconda takes one. I was just saying how they need to start things off, and they did. But at the 50-second mark, and with the standstill that the match is hitting every now and again, it's not going to look too good. Electric, that's not a position you want to be standing on. The drones will give away Gutsy's position. He pushes out, gets taken down. That's a good flush out right there. Now it's a 3 versus 4. They're going to try and push in for the plan. That is, of course, Red Vipers. They have the man advantage. Goomine goes out onto the Shin as Shockin finds Anaconda. In the meanwhile, that is another one off the board. The ace goes down. Taurus trying to do some damage onto whoever could be the planter. Isn't going to be able to. Refer's going for it. Seth finds one. In the meanwhile, Taurus goes down, but Seth has a double. Shockin has a triple. He's come around. Bedford can't even plan because now it's a 1v2. All down to him against a Melusi and a Goyo. And he will not find the prone Shockin inside of Boiler Room. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. Jiravuya have successfully made the comeback from 1-5 down at round 7 to an 8-7 victory in this match on Oregon. after a very topsy-turvy time, if you will, a good back and forth. Well, not really a back and forth. When it came to the defense, it was on the first half, Red Vipers entirely, and then on the second half, it was Jittervuya entirely, and then overtime again, it was, defenders constantly winning, and this, and hey, we're just gonna go into relive the moment in just a quick bit and actually dissect where the match, where the players and the teams went wrong, if you will. As I know that none of our viewers could see our faces while the match was actually live, but I assure you, we had faces of incredulity for most of this game, if you will. But of course, more on that a little bit later. We're going to be going into Reel of the Moment right now to talk about well, not right now, in just a short second, to talk about where both teams went wrong, where their issues were, what they can improve, if you will. And we're going to be going into that right now, actually. Reel of the Moment live on your screens. And Baba, take it away.
Well, out of 24 failed predictions, I actually did get one prediction right. That would be the defenders winning it out on map Oregon. But yeah, enough about jokes. Talking about this match entirely, it was just the defenders winning this entire round, except one round where the attackers somehow managed to win one. And that is going to be Jeter Vyuha winning second floor kids dorms in the first round, whereas Red Vipers winning their attack round in basement laundry. Other than that, it's just mistakes after mistakes, especially in the attack phase, where Red Vipers, when they go in for the push, they're not taking out the Malusi's Banshee deterrent. They're just, their main focus is to open up walls and then try to push in towards the side. At least, they do take out the barbed wires, and then when they try to go for the push, most of the kills were actually assisted from Banshee deterrents, which would give them the information, and the cats will just immediately go for a random pre-fire through the wall to get those kills. It's been happening time and time again for both these teams. But talking about the defend-wise, they don't have any problems dealing, especially on a map like Oregon. But, oh boy, the attack phase is just a lot of, I wouldn't say questions, because most of the time I keep saying the amount of questions that we need some answering. Maybe it was just very weird. It was very weird to see it, especially how Red Vipers were were using 3 deployable shields right in towards the attic. I couldn't understand why. You could place one into a second floor trophy. That's exactly what Jeter Vyuha did. And God, the man, he was making quite a lot of plays here for the team, Jeter Vyuha. I believe there was 2 players on the side of Jeter, JV. It was God and Taurus, who was making quite a lot of plays here, the smoke and the mute, to make sure they'll be able to win a lot of defending rounds. I believe it was like 18 kills to God and 13 to Taurus. Did worked out well. The same thing can be said to Red Vipers, though. It's just that the attack round itself, the attack phase is what made me confusing, and also try to understand on what is exactly going on. They've done the basics right. They did open up the walls. It's just that when they go in for the execution phase, that's where the magic happens. When I say magic happens, it only happens to the defenders, not to the attackers, though, because the attackers are just basically
I was
confused.
Gonna say that's where the magic happens, but for the attacker side, it really doesn't.
Exactly. That's exactly how it went. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it happens. And I do know how, you were kind of disappointed on JV, though. But talking about their improvements, yes, they did have made some major improvements on defense, but not on attack. Same thing goes to Red Vipers, though, because both of them are I have no words for what to talk about it. Yeah.
If I had to summarize what you were trying to say there, Baba, they basically, both Jittervuya and Red Vipers took Oregon being a defender side of map just a bit too seriously, if you ask me. How many rounds were won by attackers? Let's actually count 2.
2. Just 2.
All of 2 rounds won by attackers in this entire match. Everything else, defenders all the way. That is 13 rounds of defender wins in an entire day of Oregon. I swear, Sometimes, we don't usually get like this. Don't get me wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Foxy yesterday and myself and Baba today, we don't get like this from any match. It takes a particularly special one to have us talking this way. But regardless, of course, as Real of the Moment comes to an end, I have to say both these teams need to revisit the drawing board, regardless of wherever they end up in Division 2 or Division 3, whatever their situation is in the promotion or the relegation. We can only hope to see where they go from here, as it were. Excuse me right there. The future is uncertain. But all things being said, Jirivuya, they were, in 6 points. They had 6 points, of course, and were fifth on the leaderboard, if I recall correctly, before this match began. And as far as I'm hearing, they have, in fact, been promoted. Potentially one more spot, if you will. Could be. We will find out as soon as the standings come up on your screens in a little bit. Just give it some time, ladies and gents. But yeah, overall, I have to say, regardless of our individual feelings of the match, did go on for a bit, and no one can deny that it wasn't a comeback from the side of Jitterviewer. It was, they did what they could, and there we go. The standings are actually ready, ladies and gents. So let's have a look at them right now on your screens. There we go. Jittervuya, 9 points on fourth position. And now that I look at this, should E-Samurai, not win any more games, and if Jittervuya wins just one more, they'll be 12 points. And I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Jittervuya actually has a chance. However slim, seeing their gameplay today, however slim, they actually have a chance to make it to Div 1.
Oh, the luck of the Irish.
That is definitely, yep, that is the perfect definition of the luck of the Irish right there. But more specifically, that's Div 2 for you. You never know who's going to go through and who's not. Of course, you have like VPG up there, you have ESM up there. They are good candidates to go through to Division 1. But Jittervuya, I don't think anybody at the beginning of the season could have said that Jittervuya has a chance to be in Div 1. Oh boy, that is... Yeah, it makes me feel weird just saying it. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, that hasn't been it for the standings. And that has been it for the first game, as unfortunately, we have to end the first stream here because the Year 5 Season 4.3 patch is going live in a few minutes, if you will. In about 10-15 minutes, a maintenance will go up. So to avoid complications on stream matches, the eSamurai Esports game that should have happened right now, actually, versus Throw Syndicate, has been moved offline. And we will see you all at around 8:30 p.m. IST tonight itself, with the final game of the night, that is Clickbait versus Team L2K, and we'll see you all there when the stream begins. Stay tuned.
We head for the sky, it's alright. Our wings wouldn't fly, it's alright. If we are crashing down again, pieces of love, it's alright. Scattered in mud, it's alright. You're giving me a lie again. And tell me what you want, this time I won't take it to the heart. Cause I know we won't make it out, I've heard it all before. Yeah, tell me what you want, let me hear that I'm the only one. You know that we won't make it out, we've heard it all before. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright, so let's move on. 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 It's alright, so let's